Hello, welcome to another video. This video I'm going to be tackling this room. It's my kitchen. It's going to be the last room to be done because it needs this window replacing and it needs some sort of set of doors there. So I need to get those ordered. Once I have those orders, fit them, and then I need to plaster this wall. I say my plasterer. Giving him a bit of a challenge though. Look at this. Foolishly, in my haste, I did not dot and dab or arrange to have behind the boiler plastered before it was fitted. Obviously this section needs to be accessible for the scale inhibitor and also the MagnaClean filter, so it can be serviced, and I'll box it in other than having an access point on top of the worktops. So plan is to get the services run where I need them, so electric cables up either side, so I can do a ring main down that side of the room and continue the ring down this side of the room. So here is my gas in. I've had the gas run down the wall for a hob, because I'm going for a gas hob. So floor's finally going down. I've expanding foamed. Just need to tape these bits and then yeah, all good. And now time for me to get this floor down. I'm going to do the hardwood ply. Enjoy. I've covered in a previous video this kitchen floor structure. However, in here I'm doing hardwood ply on top of 6x2 joists with that insulation down. Previously it was a concrete floor which I had to remove due to damp issues, and it didn't blend in with the existing floor, so there's a little bit of a step. But that's covered in another video if you want to watch that. A fair statement is to say this kitchen has been to hell and back, removing the structural wall, creating a new structural opening, replacing the timber ceiling joists, the floor above and the way they run to accommodate a bathroom above, and remove a bathroom from this kitchen, creating a new structural opening with the help of my brother, and getting it insulated, rebuilding that floor structure, and then finally onto plastering and then fitting a kitchen. So it's been through a lot, this room, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. So it's the latest in the kitchen. Had it delivered, got all the bits, and it's been mist coated. Just need one more coat of paint to go on in here. Need to box that in, but that's going to happen after. The worktops are at the very bottom of this pile of stuff. And I've got some here that I'm just going to assemble and then move into here one by one. So I'll move as much of these out of here into there. But yeah, units running across here. Fridge freezer is going to go here. Units run across here. Dishwasher, washing machine, sink. Yeah. So far in the kitchen, you can see it's pretty tight for space. Just wanted to get these drawers together. So I'll show more about details of the kitchen later. Be a bit easier when there's handles on, but some drawers inside drawers. Rough placing of the oven. Needs to come over a little bit. Fridge freezer. Just going to put the radiator on today. Need to move these oak worktops, but they're heavy as hell. And yeah, one's 4 meters, 40 mil. And it's just the edges are so sharp. I don't want to damage my finished floor in there, but yeah, very busy at the moment assembling these kitchen units, but not a lot of space. So just need to be careful not to damage anything. I've got stuff lent up against a freshly painted wall, but that's where the fridge freezer is going, so I'm not too fussed about that, and the paint's dry. But yeah. Excuse the wind noise if you hear any. It's super windy outside. So I'm just going to get this side fitted first. I've got 2 wall units, but first of all I need to level all this out. There's an end panel down the very end panel here, and a filler piece to go in there. So now I've got my lengths as such, because I wanted them to match. I know roughly where everything ends, and that end over there I also need to do a filler piece, so it's interchangeable, the length. So what I'm gonna say is nothing's holding me up doing this side now. Previously I was waiting on the dishwasher, but that's arrived. I could have continued, but I needed to get some plumbing in, and I wanted to be 100% sure on the lengths of either side of the galley kitchen, because if they started finishing at different lengths, there and there, it would look real weird, and I don't want that. So yeah, I waited, and now I'm going to get on with it. So worktops are off. All 3 meters of 40 odd mil of oak, and outside. So I'm going to go down, get all these units right, and get this end panel on. To worry about the switch. I think I've got a little bit of room, I can go this way. Here is for the extractor, which you can see a bit more clearly there. It's not quite central at the moment, but we'll see how we get around that. It's a lot of flat pack, so I haven't recorded me doing time lapses of it because it's very bitty. I assemble one, move it into the kitchen, assemble another. So I had the fridge larder put together, and I was about to move into the house as well, so I needed a working fridge whilst the kitchen renovation was going on. So I'm doing this around work, so I work in the day and then I'm doing this in the evenings, afternoons. So here I'm just cutting the end panel. I've marked it against the wall, so I've scribed it, and where the walls were all dot and dab, the walls are very straight. So I had a straight cut all the way up, and I'm just going down it with my track saw. It's actually a circular saw with a track saw base, and just sit it on the DeWalt rails, get it to the right height, and I've got a fine tooth blade as such, which will just cut down this quite nicely. But this is what you fix to the side of the larder unit to give it that colour. So I obviously went with the green, as you'll see in a minute, but this goes on the side, and then it will have the worktop butted up to it, and then above that it will have a cabinet butted up to it as well. So you can see it's very little strip that's being removed, but I'm taking off the rounded edge, so you get an option on these B&Q end panels, so you have like a squarer edged finish and then a rounded edge finish. I went for the squarer edge finished, so I think it looks a little bit nicer, but yeah. Pretty clean cut. Just using this 60 tooth blade, thin curve. Ooh, don't want to touch the blade on the finished surface. Thin curve blade, pretty good. I think it was like £12 on eBay. Okay, so that side's in. Just need to cut out the hob, which I've marked here. So it's measured off the bottom section. It's quite tight, and it goes to the right where the dials are. I'm going to put a round over on the worktop, but I'm going to leave it full depth. I'm not going to take anything off of it. Main reason being, handles, you're not knocking against them. So it's perfect coverage. I may take some off this edge. I'm undecided at the moment. We will see. This side only had 2 end panels, one there and one there, which I had to do a scribe. You can sort of see it's a pretty decent scribe to the wall, and that's just, well, a sort of finger scribe. Just use an offcut of 18mm. Put this forward 18mm, clamped it off, and then just used my block of 18mm to scribe across the back. That means it'll be back set 18mm on the cut, so easy. Here, a bit more complicated, but it doesn't actually matter too much. So depth's a bit more. The doors aren't actually attached to the fridge at the moment as well, and they're quite large. But along here is going to be a wall unit attached to there. Then there's going to be the extractor. So I put it on wide angle, it's a bit easier to see, and then another wall unit there. Right, so I'm just about to cut in my hob. This stainless steel one here. So I've got the worktop butted up to where it's going to finally go. I've not cut off this end yet, and I've not put on a profiled edge. So what I'm trying to do is get this cut out in one piece, hopefully make a nice couple of chopping boards for my mum if she watches this up to this point. Hi mum, I hope you enjoyed the chopping boards. But yeah, this should get 2 fairly decent sized chopping boards out of it, and I'm going to cut it in with the jigsaw in situ where it's so heavy and it's also raining outside. I don't want to get this oak wet as it's not even oiled yet. I'm going to cut it in situ. So I'll just put you on time lapse, show me doing that.
I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice.
So I was using my blower as extraction when cooking. So I've got a couple of nice juicy steaks on the go there, but no extraction. So I needed to get an extractor fan, finally fitted to the wall. All the electrics were already in place, just had to mind not going through the cable. And then it was on to core hole drilling it. But that core hole drill, the right angle DeWalt FlexVolt one, it went through the wall so easily. If you do a lot of core holes in residential houses, I 1000% recommend it. As soon as I got that side functioning, I moved on to the other side, and it was a case of leveling the units. There was a delay, as I mentioned, on some of the bits. So the dishwasher didn't come immediately, and nor did the pull-out bins. However, I could still fit the units in place. It was just a case of messing around with the washing machine, as you'll see in a minute. It was a bit tricky. So I've managed to get dishwasher in. I had to redo the door handle. It'd come loose because I was picking the front of this up with the door handle. Don't recommend that. The washing machine door is too low. So that's on the stencil that I've got it with. It's too low, and I think it will clash, hit the worktop above when it's spinning, because the top's too high here. So what I'm going to do is just recut that door, redo the holes on the back and bump it up that way. These two aren't currently fixed in. That end one is fixed in, and I've run a string line down the front of the units just to make sure they're all square with one another, because I've got this Belfast sink to go round and it just sort of shoots over the top of it. So what I'm going to do now is run this plumbing in. I won't film it because I'm not a plumber and it's kind of hard to film and it would be clunky, but I will share this. So this waste here, you have your white poly washer that goes underneath this metal trim, and that's compressed down onto your rubber washer. which fits within the top of the waist there. Start to see all the valves, and there's my mains water just there. That's my mains water. That's the water for the dishwasher and washing machine, these two. And above up there is the waste incoming for the dishwasher and washing machine wastes. Fitting the dishwasher and washing machine next to each other is actually quite difficult because they don't fix into each other easily. Like this dishwasher, you do have fixings, but I'm going into a Belfast sink and then going into just a door. So if I was to do it again, I'd probably do one either side. And then I've got a unit there to fix into and a unit over there to fix into. However, that's not what I've done. So luckily, the washing machine needs to be kind of loose anyway to spin round. And what I'm going to do here is going to be fixing up into the worktop itself. I can get a fixing in on the back here of the dishwasher and on the back here of the dishwasher. So I will do that. I'll just show you them a bit closer, those fixing holes. Just something, yeah, to pin it in place while I'm doing my units, because these ones still need to be fixed back to the wall. This Belfast needs to be fixed to those and then back to the wall. And then this is fixed to the worktop, that's fixed to the worktop, that's fixed to the worktop, and this end one's fixed to the worktop. This one won't be, but that door is going to have to move higher. It's also got a bit of play in it. It doesn't seem to be adjustable, but I'm sure that's fine. I hope that's fine. So yeah, gonna get these in. I'm not gonna film me doing the plumbing because I'm not a plumber. But I'm going to do my waste. I've got a little core hole to do, which will just be running that waste through outside the wall. Hopefully not going through any of my supplies. But yeah, you notice how dirty I am crawling around on the floor underneath the units, adjusting legs. So note to self, adjust all the legs first before you put all the units in place. And when I say not a plumber, I mean, I'm literally not a plumber. I don't want to lead anyone astray as well when they're fitting their own kitchen, in case I do anything and it's not deemed perfect. But what I've worked out quite well, when I say is this waste. So there's an adjustment on it everywhere. I've got adjustment here. I can move it all around. I'm going to try to get it as far back in the cupboard as possible so I can run, well, I say run, so I can put all my different detergents or whatever I store in here, cleaning products I assume, because it's not a massive storage space, but yeah, all those things can be put underneath here. That's the overflow waste, but on this Belfast sink it all goes into the main one, so that's not needed. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little hole saw here basically, and then core hole through to the outside, and then this will sit on there and go directly out. But again, I've got some adjustment there, so I'll get on with that. Once that was in place, it was on to the scariest cut, I might say. I was partially worried about the worktop breaking here, but it's cutting in the Belfast sink. So I want it flush with the top of the sink, so where the sink meets the underside of the worktop. So if anything falls in, it doesn't hit a lip of the sink. But it was pretty tricky to cut. I used a combination of the jigsaw and also the circular saw with the track base. But yeah, it went pretty well, I guess. Okay, so I've just put on all the roundovers of the kitchen. You can see there's a bit of burn, but I've done that with this router. So it's the DeWalt 1/4-inch palm router with this base on it. You do also, sorry, clearing my throat, covered in dust, sawdust, everything. Yeah, so this router does have a plunge base as well, but you've got a micro adjustment on it. It's brilliant. If you're going to do a job like this, I mean, it makes it 10 times easier to have your own stuff. But yeah, you can see like the edge I've put on it. It's a real nice edge. There is a bit of burn.
And then the round over continues on the bottom here and here till the Belfast sink starts. It still needs oiling and everything, but at the moment all the round over's done, and it's just done with this little ball bearing what is it, Bosch set. I got this little Bosch set. I think it was like 15 or 20 pounds, but you've got all these different sizes in it. You can get really cheap ones from Lidl's, and I've got a few of those, but these ones have worked really well, and it wasn't crazy money for a brand, and they've held up really well, and they come with a couple of spare bearing rings so they don't get worn out. But it's ready for sanding to get rid of the burn marks, so I'll give it a light sand. That's this side as well. Obviously it's still a used kitchen, so it's really quite busy, and then it will be oiling time, so I'm going to be using this product. There is a lot of room for debate on what oil to use. I'm going to use the Osmo top oil. It's a high solid, and it's also food safe, so microporous, food safe. I think it's the best one to use for this. There's a litany of different oils to use. This one just seems to cover the most bases, have the good enough reviews, and not cost the world. I think it was like £20 for this tin, so it's a clear matte, and I think it would leave a really nice finish. So I've got the finish on a couple of chopping boards, but I'll show it once it's all done on these worktops and they're fixed into place. But tomorrow I'm going to be putting the dishwasher back and the sink back, getting everything reconnected, reattached. Had a little bit of a minor leak which I've had to repair, but yeah, we're all good. Taps in, a couple of marks from leaving wet grips on the surface, but a good tidy up, and then we're almost there with the kitchen. You'd be shocked at how quickly it comes together. I've got some of the handles on. I've gone for these black nailed ones, just a eBay purchase, metal. I like them. And then on the drawers, I've got these bars, which again have the knurling on them when they're not covered in sawdust. Really needs a good clean in here. Just all that sawdust, and that was me whilst hoovering it. And then I've got obviously a drawer inside a drawer, but I'll go into more detail of the full kitchen, how much it cost at the end of the video, where I got everything from, all the bits I'll mention. So stay tuned. Okay, so I've reinstalled the Belfast sink. Still not tidy, but just giving it a test fill, checking for leaks and whatnot. Seems to be okay. I'll run up the dishwasher and washing machine because I've re-plumbed those in, just for I have to do some adjustment and go from there. But yeah, it's a cool tap I've got on here. It's only a Screwfix special. So if you have a look at this tap, I think it cost me £60 because they had an offer on. But you've got two buttons on it and this magnetic lock thing. Obviously, you can move it around. You've got this button that turns it to a spray mode. And then you got the stop button, which seems to break it out of that mode. If you have a look at those, yeah, not bad. I mean, not to everyone's liking, but it's a bit more usable in this sink setup that I have here. So we're about to find out, but it's a Belfast sink, just a cheap B&Q one. They're quite thin, but it's all integrated, the overflow. It doesn't need a separate thing, supposedly. So we will see in a second if there's any leaks. Cannot see anything yet. Ignore those cable ties, they will be coming off. But no, we're going over and it all looks good, so happy with that. Need to adjust this, get this fixed back and empty the sink. Where I've been using the kitchen whilst I've been living here, a few stains have accumulated on there, so I needed to sand them back. I'm using a combination of the belt sander, hand sanding, and also I have an orbital sander. So once I sand it back, I wiped it clean with a mitt, and then I'm going across and just applying the first layer of oil. Doing the same on the other side. Ideally,
I should have sanded them all in one go and wiped them all back in one go. We even put on the extractor there and got the hoover, but it's not ideal. And then go the process of oiling it for the first coat of oil. But yeah, this process gets repeated a few times. So we're a full 24 hours later. The oil's gone off. It's nice and dry. So I'm going to get on with this side now. Need to clear off some sections, do a bit of sanding, wipe off the excess dust and get a coat on it. I've already coated the underside and the front. Just didn't have enough time yesterday to sand down the top as I had dinner plans. And my brother, if you're watching this, he will know. He cooked me some lovely kebabs, chicken kebabs. Thank you, Zach. But yeah, going to get a second coat on here as well. But firstly, sand this side down. And yeah, you can watch on time lapse. So I'll put you on that now. Pull out bins are going to go here. I've already put the handles on, but I'm going to move this one down to there. And I'm going to have the bin here, which is that one, which doesn't have any handles drilled out of it yet. So I'm going to use a bar handle because the way the bins work is a pull out. I don't know why I bothered even putting these handles on so early, to be honest, before that came. But yeah, going to do a bar handle across here. Just flip off the hinges and then put it here, move that one down to there. So what you get when you open the box, you got a carriage. This carriage, I imagine, will fix directly to the door front. These are the two bins. It's the largest pull-out bins they do. Then you've got the lid. That slides on when the doors are closed and slides off when the door is open, so you keep all them bad smells hidden in a cupboard. So it should be on the side like this, so they clip into the lid. However, these ones are broken off, which is not ideal. And if we have a look in the box, there's two little toggle bits there. It should be on the side. But yeah, it's the Vigote, I think that is. The 60 centimetre, 2 compartments, and supposedly they are 46 litres per bin. They're pretty big for pull-out bins. I'm pretty happy with the size of them anyway. More than suit me. But yeah, you've got the instructions come with it. It's basically going to go through fixing the door. You've got this template which you clamp to the door, do all your pre-drilling holes, and yeah, then you're ready to go pretty much. So I'll stick you on time lapse. So I'm going to message B&Q and see what they say. They should just replace it or offer me some money or something, but that means the bad smells won't be trapped as such, and flies and whatnot will be able to get into the bin if the bin's been there a couple of days. Yeah, so I'll get on with that. So while I'm fitting this, I'll tell you what happened. So I messaged B&Q and they just sent me out a new bin. Took a couple of days, so I don't know why I waited months and months on this one. Bit annoying really, but the fact that it turned up broken and they were happy just to replace it, they didn't even ask for any photos or anything. They just sent one, recorded delivery next day. Done. Thank you. Then on to a more exciting bit. So I've set my laser up and I'm starting to fit the wall units. So I'd marked out a jig as such, so just a piece of MDF that I'd put against the wall. It had holes pre-drilled in it that I then used to mark the top of the cabinet, so all the brackets and everything would be the same and it would match in with the top of the fridge unit. And that's me looking at it, trying to work out why the sides aren't green, but I'll get into that in a second. So a bit of a mess up. Look at this. So I've assembled all my units, the wall units, and then I discover that they aren't clad-on panels, they're replacement panels. So I need to change the sides of those units to these green ones. Cool. So we're going to get on and do that for those four, and then I will be back to check on these because I want obviously this fridge freezer to line in all in one piece. I've got some like Corny's plinth things, I can't remember what they're called. These things, Pelmet maybe? Have a look. Yeah, suitable for use as a pelmet. Yeah, they're like
an angled piece that goes on the tops and the bottoms of those wall units. So it will go on the top of the unit that I create here, it will go on top of the fridge, and hopefully the fridge is like all one piece, so we will see. Okay, so that's the first one done. See the green panel on the side. 3 more to go. Okay, so that one's done. Green on that side, white on that side because it's going to butt up to another unit, and then the door goes on the front. Green on both sides on that one, green on both sides on that one, and green on one side on this one because it butts up to there. So I'm just going to mess around with the fixings, the heights, because I want them all at the same height, and then to run in with the fridge line. This is going to be a separate height because the unit's going to come out a bit further, sort of like the fridge, but to run it in, set the same height as the fridge, it's slightly higher, plus I've got the flue. So these two are up. I need to fix that one to the actual fridge freezer, but I can see how the door opens first before I do that, because there is a little gap here, but it's got adjustment in it. I just need to see how the door sits because they're onset doors. Don't know if that's been taken into consideration with the design or not, or whether I need to pack it out or leave a gap, so we'll see. But yeah, gonna do these two now. So it's down to the tricky bit of the kitchen that I've been avoiding, and that's building the boiler cupboard. I've gone a bit bigger on the cupboard, but I may have gone a bit too big. So I've got a standard door, and this is a 600 door. So I just need to make a carcass for here and then attach the shelves to it. Annoyingly, it's going to be at a different height for the pelmets and everything, and then this all needs to be boxed in, and these are the serviceable parts, so it needs to be removable here as well, the boxing in. Up there not so much, but they're above the surface level, so I need to make them look pretty somehow. I've got these end panels here, they are the same green as the rest of the kitchen, and that's what I'll be chopping up and attaching back together. But yeah, I've got my track saw, which I'll need, jigsaw. I'm just going to set up outside on this nice day. So that's the boiler cupboard. I just need to do my boxing in down here with an access panel to get to the serviceable parts. And I haven't fixed on this bit yet because I need to get these heights right and also do that boxing in there. But where this is larger than a 600 unit, the boiler, I've just housed it in there. But yeah, need to square this up, which will happen with this panel being fixed in here, and then yeah, just boxing in to cover that section there, and obviously boxing in there. Okay, so break and play. It's been raining outside, but I've got the unit in. I am relatively happy with it. It's just made out of leftover off panels and this unit door just to cover the boiler, the manual in there and everything. Still going to box this off, obviously, as mentioned. Need to leave access there for servicing. And above here, a little bit of filling and a little bit of boxing off. But I'm going to do a pelmet round and then a pelmet round here. One thing I'm not happy with is I didn't consider the depth. So it's set back a little bit compared to the rest of the units. You can probably see it more clearly here. So I may just do a different style of handle just to cut it up a little bit more. Just to make it clear that that's not the cupboard you really ever open. It's all the other ones. So I've got one handle left to do here for the washing machine. That handle. The pelmets around the tops. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do them around the bottom of the units because I think without LEDs it can look a little meh. And the plinths down the bottom. So I didn't get an end panel for here, as I have mentioned. I should have had an end panel here and an end panel here, and probably some sort of end panel here and here. The reason why is you need the split. So these, I'll show you them. These like plinths, kickboards. Oh wait, wrong way. These plinths I think they're 2.4 meters. You sort of see, it might be 2.6. The ceiling in here is a bit taller. No, they're 2.4 meters. I think the ceiling in here is like 2.5 or 2.6. 2.6. But yeah, they don't cut it for the full length here, because this side is like 3.7 meters of plinth, and this side, just spin you around, this side is, I think it's, what is it? You got 3 meter length of worktop, cut down to like 2.7, I think. So I think it's over that length anyway. So I need to do a flat join in it somewhere, which is going to look a little nasty, because here I can obviously have a small section in there, and then from here to here is just over 2.4. Yeah, I've just measured it, it's 2.9, and I'm in a bit of a predicament because I've already cut the worktops. But as long as you're not inspecting too closely, you won't see it, I hope. But I need to cut them down to width when obviously the rain sorts itself out. And then it will be on to tiling the backsplash. I may start that in a minute if I can't get outside, because I can make a decent start on it, at least get the bottom course in across. Just obviously need to clear all this crap. And there was one thing that I just wanted to cover off that I think is super useful, and if you're fitting a kitchen, doing any form of carpentry where there's fiddly angles, difficult to reach bits, you may have seen some of these before, but they're 100% needed. So you've got here this bit. It looks like a regular bit extension. However, it's a DeWalt bit, it pops off and it allows you to do, just see if I can trap the camera anywhere. Underneath my chin, will that work? Yeah. So it allows you to do a slight angle, and where this is handy is if you have a fixing back where it's close to the edge of the unit and you can run it flush like this. So you're in the cupboard now, and this is the angle I was referring to. So obviously got the bit in, minor angle, and if I was to have a regular straight bit, you'd have to go on the angle there, you risk stripping the head. But if you just pop that, you get that in there, and if you have a look along here, it allows you to get right in there without stripping the head. Keep a straight angle there. Brilliant bit. But you've also got this bit. There are a couple of others I've seen on the market. I know Milwaukee do one and DeWalt have another one, but this is the all metal one. I had to order this from Amazon Germany, I think, because they didn't sell it in the UK at the time. They may now, but it was a little bit more expensive. But I've had it for 5 years. It's fitted 3-4 kitchens, and it's done plenty of other tasks. It's impact rated, this one, but obviously allows you to get in to fit those tight angles. Obviously I wouldn't use it here, but getting behind units and everything, absolute lifesaver. And then finally your regular extension bits, so these bits. So we've got like a 150 mil, I believe this is a Milwaukee extension, and then I've got, I think it's 50, I guess it's, yeah, 50, 75 mil extension bit that came with the multi set, this little shockwave set. Little decent set, this. But yeah, those ones have come in super handy. Like that one, obviously this offset angle one, brilliant. 100% needed. Okay, so I just put in the plinth, so I should have probably recorded it because it was a little bit different to the last time I did it. I've got obviously the LEDs in, but the plinth material's different to the last time I used it. It's still chipboard, but both edges have a lip on them, so they both have the material wrapping in it. So it's the same kind of material, so I could have used it as an end panel here, and that would have saved me money. But yeah, I'm going to use some of them here to box this in as an end panel either side, because I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 spare. I don't know how they work that one out, but yeah, so I had the kitchen designed. I did go through it with them at the time, so obviously it's on me to check that as well. But yeah, I have to take the extras back, I guess. Not get me some A&Q credit. So new day, new challenge. I'm going to be doing the boxing in here, as mentioned before, up there. And I've got these Pelmets. So they sit on the top. You can have them on the bottom of the units. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do them on the bottom as well. Definitely going to do them on the top. Have I got enough of the bottom? I do have enough of the bottom. I'll probably do it on the bottom as well. We'll see. But I'm going to run these in on these cupboards. And top of the fridge. And top of the boiler cupboard. Definitely. They're a shape. You can do it multiple ways, I believe, but I'm going to sit mine on top like that. So it's this shape, and I'm going to fix through the back section here with my fingers tapping. Ooh, there. I'm going to fix through that. But it's lots of 45-degree angles, so you need a chop saw or a decent miter saw, miter block, whatever. And yeah, and then you need to miter bond it with something like this, Unibond, so you've got the activator and everything. And it'll allow you to make fancy angles like this one. And I tend to make them all in one piece. You can see my notches to get past the back of a unit up there. But I'll just get on with that. I'm going to be taking breaks, so I won't time lapse it. So I'm hungry already. So I'm going to have a curry, I think. And yeah, I'm just going to get this all fixed on, and I'll show you when it's done. So all the pelmets are cut. I haven't fixed them in yet. They're just on. I'm just deciding how I want the finish to be. So if you look here from the front, although it's, yeah, as I say, it's not fixed on. Also, the doors aren't adjusted yet. The sides have an overlap, and obviously they'll be flush. On the internal bead, when I mean that, this section here will be flush with the side of the unit, and the front overhangs the door slightly. So when you have it open, that is flush with the clapper of the door as such, what it closes on. I've done it the same over here, except from flush with the side panel here, I think it looks a little bit cleaner. And up here, I've left it to overhang, because again, I think it looks a little bit cleaner. But that's on top of the boiler cupboard up there. I'm still undecided as to whether to do them underneath. I don't think it will need it. I'm going to be doing the tiling shortly, and that will be going all the way across here. Just obviously need to do my boxing, but I might just do that after the tiling, so I can tile over the top of the edge of the tiles. But we will see. Okay, so I've cleared the side. I've keyed it up a little bit. I will scratch it up a little bit more. And I've moved this backing box over, and I've run a bead of tape around the edge of the worktop. I just realised I haven't fixed the worktop to the units. So it's just being held down by its weight and the oven. So I can just about lift it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip to screw fix, not tool station, screw fix. And I'm going to get some of the little tiny L brackets and just fix them in around the units. And then I'll get onto tiling, which I'll put you on time lapse for. Finally, it was tiling time. So I used a pre-mixed adhesive. I actually used the Map-Eye shower cream just because I like the tack that it has. So you put the tiles on there, they don't really slip or move. And it's a cementitious tile adhesive as well. So very strong. Bit overkill for this area, but I had some left over, and I thought I'd spend the extra £3 to get this stuff that I've used before. The other stuff that was non-shower rated or non-wet room rated had really bad reviews, and for £3 difference, I just got this. It made so much more sense. So it took me a couple of hours to get all these on, and then on to my least favourite job in a minute, grouting. Okay, so tiling's done this side, and I had one tile left. They do not have these in stock in B&Q in the entirety of the UK. I have 3 boxes, so hence this shape at the end as it steps up. I will clean up the wall there and also here, and also in the middle here. It just needs to be a functional splashback. I can clean up the edges. But yeah, I'm not too mad with it. It looks all right. I've obviously got to do a trim around the window here, and I'll do an overlay trim. There's still a sill to go on here, and yeah, tidy that up. I could bump down the unit so it touches, but the angle you're going to be looking at it most of the time, or rather I look at it, it doesn't affect me at all. But maybe that's just me being me. Usually you would cut the bottom tile and then you would have it on a finish at the top, or cut the top tile, but don't have enough tiles to do that. There's none in stock, obviously, as I just mentioned. So not a bad turnaround. I think it's cost me £25-ish for those 3 boxes, as I did get a bit of discount, and now I just need to get on and tidy it. Once this is set, I'll be able to grout it. Thinking of black grout, just because you see the shadow line there, it does look quite good in black, and it's a 2mm spacer that I've used. So these little spacers, but you can see it's all pretty even. Need to bump that little one in there before it sets, and then I can fix back all the sockets. But I'm really happy with it. But thank you very much for watching. Obviously you can see a lot of work went into this over an extended period of time whilst I was doing the rest of the house, and I've taken the microwave off the side just so you can see the space that I've got. Probably going to do a shelf here, not too much more to it, going to keep it quite simple. But as you can see, I've got an open door here. As you can see in the build up, it's luxury vinyl tile, herringbone, woodpecker product, and it's a B&Q kitchen. The handles, knurled knobs, got those elsewhere, and these knurled bars, got those elsewhere. It was either an eBay special or an Amazon special, but the whole kitchen cost around £4,000, so that was £500 for the worktop, so a 4 metre length of 44mm oak and a 3 metre length, but it allowed for lots of people to get chopping boards as Christmas presents. The Belfast sink, dishwasher, washing machine, oven, hob, extractor, fridge freezer.
I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you